Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Let's Debrief podcast and happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
This is Let's Debrief Cozy Edition.
Yes.
To be fair, I feel like we're usually cozy, but this is extra cozy because it's a sleepover tonight.
It's a sleepover. We have football on.
Cole has cookies in the oven.
The cookies are in the oven. We used the air fryer tonight for the first time.
Honestly, this is my ideal night. Like football, I had chicken nuggets and french fries for dinner.
I'm
and now
having a great time.
Yeah. Do you have hot chocolate or cocoa powder? We can make our own.
I think I do have hot chocolate, like Swiss Miss.
That would honestly send me over the edge for that in perfection.
We should have made it before we started the podcast.
Cole, if you're listening to this, we'll take hot chocolate too.
Well, he can't make it because the only way to heat up is the espresso machine, and it will go.
Oh, that's a great idea. I was just going to say put it on the stove. Like the milk on the stove. But that is much more efficient in the future. He would have to scout. Hey, you're fine. We'll do it afterwards.
We'll do it after.
No, you're okay. Thank you.
Cole has been literally our saving grace today because we recorded another episode before this, which is coming out next week, which if you guys are getting in spooky mode,
We're spooked.
We read your spooky stories
for
next week, and we're terrified.
Genuinely terrified because there was a little bit more real content than I wanted.
I just wanted someone to be like I
saw Casper in my living room.
Well, I won't give too much away, but there was one story just like about a grandma's ghost, and I'm like, aw, that was fine. But then there was other ones that were
murder,
not okay.
Yeah. No, thank you.
But
so have fun listening to that next week.
Yeah, we recorded that one before this, and Cole was on dad duty because Tanner is at an away soccer game,
which is coming to an end soon.
Yes,
you will have your evenings redeemed.
Yes, honestly. So you've probably heard me say this like 3 times at this point, but a bunch of soccer games got rescheduled at the beginning of the season. So there was like 4 per week, like the past 2 weeks.
Eesh. And
it has just been, I mean, I'm sure Tanner's exhausted because he's the one literally doing it.
There, yeah.
But I'm also exhausted.
That is crazy that he has to ride the bus with them.
He doesn't have to, but he wants to.
Yeah, and I guess they probably wouldn't reimburse his gas if he drove.
No.
So it's like, why drive? When a lot of them are far, it's like, why drive that far?
They're very far. And it's like he hangs out with the kids. They stop and get fast food. It's just like the sports bus vibe.
What sports did you play in high school?
Soccer and track.
For some reason, you gave me volleyball vibes.
I did volleyball in 7th grade, but I wasn't very good. My fatal flaw in sports is always just I get too scared of the ball.
That's fair.
You or softball? Anything else?
I got put on the soccer team because they didn't have a goalie, and they were like, "You're a catcher. It's basically the same thing." It was not the same thing. Also, our team was really bad, and so me being on the soccer team showed nothing of my soccer skills.
Is soccer a fall sport to you?
It was. I'm trying to think. I think, yeah, that's right.
That's what it was for us. Soccer is fall, softball is spring.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely didn't interfere with softball. So, yeah, softball was the spring. And, yeah, we had winter rotation, too. Okay, so, our school didn't have football because we were just being a private school. And everyone always said the insurance was too high. So, we just never had a football team, which is weird. But so our school was really big into volleyball.
Oh, okay.
Now that I think about it,
boys
our soccer,
and girls?
Yeah, but our boys team was really, really good. Got to the championship every year.
Oh,
and it was always really
awesome.
fun.
Yeah. I love watching volleyball.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It was quick.
My favorite every year was they would do an alumni game, and my dad used to play he used to play volleyball because we went to the same high school. And so him and my uncle, who also went to the school, would come and play volleyball against my other uncle who was in school at the same time. And I was like, this is my favorite time of year. It was always so fun.
That is so fun.
But yeah, volleyball is, especially men's, is such a fun sport to watch.
It's so quick.
They
hit it so hard. You want to know something that we did at our school? And truly, this feels like a fever dream. The teachers would play basketball against the other teachers while riding donkeys in our school gym.
That feels so made up. Like, what was the reason?
It's called donkey basketball. I have no idea what the reason is. Maybe Cole knows.
Your entire childhood sometimes sounds like a fever dream.
What if I just was always lying on the podcast?
Literally. People are like, no way. And you're like, yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, Cole, what was donkey basketball for?
I thought he wasn't there.
It was like
Wait, come say it to the mic.
It
Doesn't matter.
It was a ROTC fundraiser? Something? I don't know.
So did people like bet on a teacher? Or it was just like for the game overall? Like, if we raise this much money, we will play donkey basketball.
No, it was like you bought tickets to watch donkey basketball.
Oh my god!
And there were I think students played.
Are you in on this with her, or this was
no,
real?
I promise. I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, this is our code word for this bit. We're just lying about it. Yeah, I don't know. It was real.
Did you ever go watch?
I watched it. I didn't play.
Was it only teachers that played?
No, I think some students played.
I don't
Maybe.
remember.
I don't know. Tanner would know.
Tanner would know.
We're gonna record until Tanner gets home.
No. So yeah,
that was a tangent. Yeah.
Oh, Tanner's at the soccer game. Cole was watching Monty for the last episode. And then now he's really coming through. He's making us cookies.
Which was so funny because I will not reveal because it'll be a surprise next week. But we had somebody else that was here with us too. And they requested the cookies and then they left.
Like a traitor.
Like an absolute traitor.
But yeah, we have a guest next week reading the stories with us. So it's...
Maybe you could get
fun time.
But it was fun.
It was... Why was I going to say it was sexy?
Because that's what they love. Literally, anytime that we promise anything sexy, they're like, I'm coming back.
Click, click, click. The clickbait is crazy with the
so
sexiness.
True. Well, we both have some trips to recap. I don't know if you want to go straight into that. Also, again, you know the vibes. We're just chit-chatting, catching up. A lot of you seem to enjoy that.
I'm just looking at our thing from
clicks.
last week. Yeah, we're just hanging out, and we
maybe once the cookies are done, Cole will deliver them to us during the podcast,
and we'll do a live taste test.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're just, we knew that we were going to have some content since we were both away on our trips. And did you have anything disastrous happen?
Oh my gosh, I just had a booger shit
Yes,
up into
you
my
did.
nose.
Are you going to share about your bug bite problem?
I can now.
You know what? Just tell us the whole trip.
It really does. I was going to say.
And about the hazmat suit. Oh, you have so much to tell.
So much good content. Okay. Do you want a popcorn or do you want to be like, I talk about my trip?
You go first.
Okay.
Tell your whole thing. Let's do it interview style. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I literally have to pick this booger.
That's fine. I love a good booger.
It's shot like to the back of my nose.
Get in there.
I have to move my nose ring.
I always wonder how you pick your nose with the nose thing in there.
I know it's really looped in there. All right, we should be good.
Okay, so where did you guys go?
All right, so we flew into Portland, Maine, that is. And once we got there, we hung out in Portland very briefly.
You didn't even say, what did you pick up as soon as you got there?
Oh, yes, of course. Okay. So if you've tried to rent a car when you're under 25, it is very expensive. Literally every car rental, and I don't know if it was Maine specific too, that like maybe there just aren't a ton of cars there, but it was like every car rental place was like, it'll be $650. I was like, oh my gosh. And we're so used, I don't know if you felt this way on your trip too, but we're so used to traveling as a group that I was like, this is all on me.
Yeah.
I have to pay for all of this. So I was just like, oh, this really sucks. And then one of my friends was like, you should look into a U-Haul. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. So like the flat rate to get a U-Haul is $20 a day. And I was like, incredible. But they're like, we charge you mileage. And I was like, okay, but there's no young driver fee. And before everyone yells at me, you're like, you should have checked Turo. Yeah, there is a young driver fee on Turo.
Really?
Like literally just a flat $120 because you're under 25.
Okay, wait. For over 25, is Turo a cheaper option?
Yes,
I
think so.
Can you pick it up at the airport, or do you have to like
That's
Uber
the
somewhere?
thing.
Because I can't be doing that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it feels like semi-rigged because on some of the cars I was looking at, it was like, yeah, come pick it up at our house, or we can drop it off at the airport for $90.
No.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. Obviously, like an Uber would be cheaper, but this is so inconvenient. We still had to Uber to the U-Haul place, but it literally was like 10 minutes away. So that was really nice. I think our first Uber was less than $10. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So we got there, picked up the U-Haul.
How much did you end up spending like on mileage total? And how much would you say you drove?
Well, we drove. I know how much we drove because basically it's almost like $1 per mile.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Wait, so it wasn't
It's
cheaper.
95. It's 95 cents a mile. It was cheaper by like $100, which at the end I was like, was it worth it? Like, but I'm like, $100 is $100. Like, so you can do the math yourself. It was like around 5 something, but I was
that's crazy. You're going to be so happy when you turn 25. I mean,
know,
I'm
one
only
more month.
I'm only 26, but like and again, maybe it was Maine specific, but like our rental car in Colorado for the same amount of time as you had yours was like $230.
Which I feel like when we all went, like, I think, was it when we went to Colorado in February last year that like I feel like I remember you looking up prices and you were like, okay, is everyone okay with paying $50? And I was like, for the week? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, yes, that's so cheap. But yeah, I think I get screwed every single time. I have to, like, it's honestly it's one of my things that I've been very regretful of, that I haven't paid attention more, because I'll go to rental car places and then they'll be like, all right, here's your total. And I'm just like, okay. Because I'm like, I have no option at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm always too fearful to ask, like, why is it that much?
I know. It's just like, you're just like, I guess I have to do this.
Yeah.
I totally understand. But it'll be so much better once you turn 25.
One more month.
There should be like, it should not be based on your age. It should be based on your driving record. I mean,
it's like, upload your insurance and like, let's see your record. I'm like, by all means.
Cool. It's clean. Like, whatever, you can charge me.
That should be how it's based off. It's like, let's get in contact with your insurance company and see your record.
Yeah, but it's probably just so easier to be like, oh, this age.
Oh yeah, rental car companies have made so much money off of me.
Same.
But so since we drove up to Acadia, and like I knew in the back of my mind about like the mileage, but we were not careful. Not like that. I don't know. We weren't just like, oh, we can't go this far, or we're not going to drive extra tonight. Like, we just went wherever we wanted. So yeah, we ended up at like 400 miles, which was a bummer, but like,
I can't believe it's $1 a mile. I was expecting it to be like 30 cents or something.
Oh, I wish. It would have been so much nicer. I know when I saw that, I was like, oh, that stinks, but it will still be cheaper.
Yeah.
So we picked up our U-Haul, which honestly, like, was such a great car.
Yeah.
It was like it was a Ford, right? Cole was in the kitchen, so I was just looking at him. But yeah, it was just like a Ford pickup truck, like, and it was newer and like it was really nice. And both Cole and I at the end of the trip were like, should we get a truck?
Yeah.
Like, we love, like, and I texted you, it was kind of like maybe a little bit smaller than Tanner's truck, but like we were like, this is wonderful.
I love a truck.
Yeah, we could fit everything in the car. It could seat 5 people still.
I was going to ask if you put like your bags in the bed or just the back.
Just the back seat, yeah. So yeah, I don't know where I was. We picked up the truck. Like, what I have learned about Portland, which we didn't spend that much time there when we all went, but we found it so effortless to find good things to do. Like, it's just a city of really good food, really good pastries, and like coffee. Well, maybe not. We had to go to none of the coffee shops were open that we wanted to go to.
That's what happened when we were there too.
We went back to that same place like 2 more times that we all went to.
Because that was the only one that was open.
The only one that was open. Like, a lot of places were like not open on Monday and Tuesday. I'm like, okay.
I feel like that's becoming so common, is for places not to be open Monday and Tuesday. And I'm just like, why?
I remember when we would stay over here, like in like Ligonier on Sunday nights, and then we'd be like, coffee in the morning, and you're like, literally nowhere is open.
Nowhere.
Like, oh, sick.
Thank God we have the Brevels now.
Yeah, for real. So we went to a really good restaurant called Black Cow. Black Cow? Yeah, that sounds about right. Really good burgers. The only thing that they don't hand make in the restaurant is their ketchup. Everything else is homemade.
Wow.
I know. And it was really, really good.
Was it like an intimate environment or was it like a big place?
It was a bigger place. It was like a cute cafe with like an outdoor area, and we sat outside.
And you said that the weather was warm,
Yes.
which you were wanting fall vibes.
Yes. Literally it was like 75 to 80 the entire time. We brought sweaters and like we were sweating. Like I wore like cold clothes onto the plane. Like I had like this set on with nothing, like it was like kind of like a button up shirt and like nothing underneath. And literally when we got in the car, like got in the U-Haul, I said to Cole, I was like, I am so sorry, like I need to get into the suitcase right now and change into a tank top.
Actually, this same thing happened to me when we got to Boulder, because we were eventually going up into the mountains, but we first stopped in Boulder just to get food and shop a little bit, and it was hot down there because it wasn't so high elevation. And don't make fun of me.
Oh God, I'm scared.
And I knew Tanner would be mad at me, so I waited for him to go and get a coffee. He walked to a little coffee shop. I fully changed my full outfit on the street, and I wasn't.
You got butt naked.
I wasn't wearing any underwear, and I like had to change my pants from like leggings
the oven's
to
done.
shorts or whatever. And there was another option. I had Monty with me.
Why
So-
didn't you get out of the car?
Why did I get out of the car?
Why didn't you just like sit in the front seat and like wiggle?
Well, Monty was with me and she was outside sitting in the grass. So I kind of like shut the door a little bit and like stood in there, and there's no one around me. But I just like put them down, put them back up. But sorry, all that to say, I was also very hot when we first arrived.
What did Tanner say when he came back? And
I didn't tell him.
Outfit? He didn't notice?
Well, he didn't know that I like was not wearing underwear. I don't think he would have cared if I was wearing underwear. He'd be like, well, whatever.
Yeah, it was how hot was it in Boulder?
Like 80 probably.
Yeah. I was like, this was not the vibe. Like literally the week after we left, it was dropping like to 50 degrees. And when we were in Greece last year, the weather was like still really good, but it was like windy. And so it made it like, made a chill in the air. And while we were on this trip, Cole was like, okay, we're done traveling.
Switch the weather?
We're done traveling the week of our anniversary. We're going to push it to like the second week that we celebrate because the weather is not our friend.
It is very unpredictable at this time of year. It can either, like even today was really hot.
Yeah. Yeah. We were like going in and out of our house and Cole was like, it's hot today.
Yeah.
Like it is warm.
Yeah. But then a few days ago, freezing.
Yeah. It's so unpredictable. But so then we got in our little U-Haul and we went to Whole Foods and picked up some snackies and drove up to Stockton Springs is where we stayed. It was like an hour outside of Acadia. If you've been to Acadia, Bar Harbor area, like it's just impossible to stay in that area. It feels like which is so funny. Like once we got into the Bar Harbor area, I feel like I saw so many little inns and I'm like, where were you when I was looking at Google Maps and just typing in hotels?
They want you to be walk-in only.
Literally. And so I was just like, this is annoying. I was like, next time, like we go on a trip, we're not going to book anything in advance and see where we get.
Oh, could not be me.
Well, with a child, it feels different.
The child is what does it.
I'm like, are we going to be sleeping on the street tonight? So yeah, got settled in our little cabin. Also important to add that I had been like having a little bit of a cold, but I was like kind of getting over it. Which I will say, I don't know if you've tried this yet, but I was popping garlic. I did
I've
like the
heard about
fermented
this.
garlic and honey, like, crunchy method. And like I did, sorry, let me mansplain this. Like most people, like you just get like some garlic cloves, pour some honey over it, leave it in a cabinet. It starts fermenting and it's supposed to be really good for you. And
how are
colds.
you supposed to take it though? You eat the garlic whole.
I swallowed it whole.
Like a pill.
Yes. But looking back now, I have taken all of the small garlics that are left. So the rest of them I will be cutting in half because it definitely becomes a hazard. So that's my biggest piece of advice is to cut them down before you put them in the honey.
Oh, okay. But you do just swallow them. You're not supposed to chew them.
I mean, I guess it's up to you. I don't see anything. I'm like, you'll just have stinky breath. But
yeah,
I'm sure that does the same thing if you chew it. I was just nervous.
Yeah.
So I just was like, oh. But that was really like kicking it into gear for me. Like I felt like it was like a natural DayQuil.
Wait, did you bring it with you?
No, I wish.
Oh, okay.
That's where maybe where I went wrong. But I had it all the way up until like the day we left. Like I took one before we left for the airport.
Wow, I'm going to have to make that. I mean, I've seen it everywhere, but
Yeah.
I kept just being like, but how do I ingest it?
Yeah, that's fair. I have like, I don't know. I always am trying to look for like shortcuts, like, or I'm like, can I just like mix it in with my tea? Or
Yeah.
Just like, can I just make chicken and then like put it over it?
Can I just eat a whole clove of garlic and call it a day? I don't need to let it ferment.
Yeah.
I don't want to put in the honey.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like garlic overall, I feel like it's just a really good antibacterial
Yes.
thing. So yeah. I'd been battling a cold, and then we got there and our little cabin was like really close to a beach. And so I was like, oh, like let's drive down to the beach for sunset. And Cole's like, okay, cool. And we were there. We had our cute, because it was our actual anniversary. We had a cute little moment.
Aww.
And then we were like, oh, do you just want to sit? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so like we sat down on this like log. And as we're sitting on the log, in between my thighs start to get itchy. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, why am I getting
Are you
so
wearing
itchy?
shorts?
No, I was wearing pants. Like I just thrifted this set. And so they were kind of like stretchy, like not jeans, like, but I don't even know what to describe it. Like definitely bugs could get through, I guess.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so itchy. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah. I couldn't see anything, but I was just getting really itchy. And he was like, oh, that's so weird. And it was literally just like a regular like log. Like nothing abnormal about it. We get back to the hotel. Wait, did I send you the picture of my butt?
No.
Oh, I have to show you.
Can you show me now?
Yeah, I'll try to
Live
find it.
in the pod.
I think it's in my recently deleted, because I was like, I kept coming across it randomly.
Yeah, you're like,
and I was like,
please.
oh God. Oh, you have to use Face ID to now get into this album.
Oh yeah, you have to like do password stuff, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry everybody for the delay. But we got back to the Airbnb and my butt was covered. My butt and my inner thighs were absolutely covered in bug bites. And I was like, well, I found it. It's full cheek and everything. Cole took a picture.
Ashley.
Isn't that so sad? And literally in between my thighs too.
They're like big. They look
were
bad.
massive. They were so big. Like, and the next, so we went into Bar Harbor the next day and I was like, I need cream. Like this itches so bad. And I was genuinely concerned. Like I sent that picture to my mom and I was like, am I good?
Is this something
What is
poisonous?
this? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, those are definitely very big. Like, wait, have you ever seen that trend of like people doing like, "Meow"?
Oh yeah.
I was going to show the podcast and just be like, "Meow."
Do it.
I'm going to turn my brightness down. Ready? So if you're watching, that's an incentive to watch us on YouTube.
So true.
But yeah, so I got those bug bites, and there's nothing sexier than that.
I was gonna say perfect for your anniversary
Yeah,
trip.
yeah, no, it really set the mood. Set
Yeah.
the vibe. He was like, "Give me those bites."
Every time he goes to touch you, you're like, oh, it's itching me.
Okay.
Oh, can you just give a little scratch there instead?
That's what I was gonna say.
Instead of what you're doing, how about you just give it a little
Just like
scratch?
just rub my inner thigh a little bit. But yeah, so that was really fun. And so our first night, we were like sleeping like an hour outside of Bar Harbor, and then we were gonna go up and spend the whole day at Acadia the next day. And we both got, and of course, the same time, Cole's like, I don't feel good, and I'm like, yeah, no, that checks out. So we're both like popping, which also I don't know if we ever talked about on the podcast, but we're both big fans of Genexa.
Gen Xa.
Yeah. It's basically medicine, but without all of the dyes and extra additives and stuff like that. So
It's real medicine.
It's real
not
medicine.
homeopathy, but it's like just cleaner.
yeah, like I love like their version of ibuprofen because there's nothing else but the medicine in it.
Yeah, that's
What
I
a
give
concept.
Monty for teething. They have like infant and kid stuff too.
Yeah. Cole can't swallow pills. And so all of their like flu and cold medicine is chewable. So
That's
we're big
amazing.
fans in our house.
Oh, wow. That's
so
fun.
we both were like downing that stuff, like trying to just like feel better. We both slept like crap the night before.
Yeah, of
we were
course.
supposed to go to Acadia. So we get up, we go to Two Cats, which we've talked about on Cape Pod maybe. And it was delicious, and we walk around and we're like, all right, like, you ready to go into the park? And we're like, yeah, sure. And we start driving into the park, and it is so crowded, and I was just like, this sucks.
Dang. And the way that Acadia is like, it's on one road on a loop. So like if it's crowded, then you're in the crowd.
Cole was like, do you want to like go walk around Jordan Pond? And I was like, yeah, sure, like that sounds fun. And we went to park. Absolutely not. Like, everyone and their mother was also trying to go there, like the time that we went, but worse, like when we were in an alternate parking lot.
Dang.
And so I was just like, I'm so like, and I just felt terrible. Like, I was so tired. And I like just said to Cole, I was like, I'm so tired. I just want to go back. It was like 2 p.m. And we also had, I don't know if I told you this, we had reservations to go to Cadillac Mountain at 4:30.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were going to try to see, like, stay up there for sunset. And I was like, I'm so miserable. I cannot do this. And he was like, that's fine. Like, that's totally fine. Like, we'll go back. I was like, I just want to go lay in the bed. And so
I want my itch cream.
I want my itch cream. I had gotten the itch cream, and I was like, all I want to do is like go back and
Apply it.
I need to apply. Oh, please. You know, I took my pants off in the U-Haul. And
You
was like,
had to. Did
but
it help?
yes.
Good.
It also, what really helped too, which I don't know if anybody at home cares about this, was like wearing tight clothing. It really sealed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't like kind of
It was like constantly
rub and,
touching
like,
it. Yeah. So
yeah.
it just like didn't feel.
brush against it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing worse than when an itch gets aggravated.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. I would get out of bed and just go. Like,
You've
and just
been
hit it.
having such itch issues this year.
Yeah, the poison ivy. The poison ivy is the worst. And I thought it was that at first. I was like, please, please, not poison ivy in between my legs.
Oh God.
But
Is it fine now?
oh yeah, and like after I was applying the cream, it like was fine. But yeah, I don't remember eventually when it went away. But anyways, so honestly, our time in, like, just keeping it real, our time in Bar Harbor was kind of a bust, like, because we both just felt so ill. But overall, like, and I'll get into more Portland stuff, but like the theme of the trip was really like just slowing down. And I feel like every time we go on a trip, it's like, it's
Go.
Yeah,
We gotta see as
'cause
much as we can.
we travel like so much that not every trip is a vacation. It's like, oh, we want to go see this place, like, so we will
feel
go.
so much like that. Like,
Yeah.
we rarely are vacationing. It's like, let's see as much as we can in as little time as we can. We're up at sunrise. Like,
Yeah, especially like going to national parks. There's so many staple things to do that, like, we were planning on riding bikes and like doing all of these adventurous things, but we felt like crap. And I mean, that's also just not relaxing, but it's a really cool experience. And so it really overall forced us to like slow down. And so like we went back at like 3 p.m. We were back at our Airbnb making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, laying in bed watching Love Island. And so I was like,
that
okay.
sounds so nice.
It was really nice. So I was like, okay, like, this isn't like that bad. We stayed, I can't remember. Oh, I think the next morning, like in that area, we just got up for sunrise. Cole and Tanner have both recently been into drones. So Cole got up and flew the drone, and then we went back to bed. And then we just had to be out by 10 a.m. So then we just got our stuff together, got out, drove back down to Portland, and went to Eventide for lunch. And it was
Eventide
so good.
is the best lobster rolls on earth if you're ever in Portland, Maine.
Yes, and we tried oysters for the first time.
How did you like them?
I don't know, like, I don't know what a bad oyster tastes like. Every person that I know that's gone to Eventide is like, the best oysters on the planet. And I was just like, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
That's kind of how I feel about them. I'm
Okay.
like, I don't love or hate them. I'm just like, if it's there, but I'm not going to order it.
yeah, I just was like, we're here. Like, we've never tried oysters before. Might as well try them from a really good place.
Did you get like 6 or?
Yeah, we just got a half, and then we each like tried one
3.
of like the one of each or something. We just asked them for like what they recommended.
Yeah.
So that was nice. We got our lobster roll. It was delicious. And then I'm trying to think of like what we did. We kind of just walked around Portland. Like I said, there's so much to do. We went to Holdy Donuts, which are potato donuts.
Yum.
They were delicious. And I really on the whole trip, I really wanted like an apple cider donut. And so we got one from there.
Was it starting to be more fall weather at this point or no?
No, it was 80 degrees. Like, I kid you not. It was
whole time.
80 degrees the whole time. I had like a big sweater that like I brought on the plane with me because it wouldn't fit in my bag with everything. And the only time I wore it was our final night there at like 10 p.m. We were outside having a fire.
No.
So yeah, literally luckily I wore layers. And so I would just take off my jacket and had my tank top on. But I literally brought like my boots and everything, and I was like, my feet are sweating.
Ugh, there's nothing worse.
So, but yeah, I mean, overall, like we really we went to a really cool A-frame was like our second stop, stay wise, and it was 20 minutes outside of Portland. If you're ever in Portland, Desert of Maine is where we stayed. They were really cute A-frame cabins and stuff like that.
It was so cute.
So cute. The total vibe and everything, and yeah. So overall, like we really just were intentional about like spending time together and like disconnecting, slowing down, doing things we liked. Cole got me, well, I guess he got us a couples massage for our last day and like obviously for our anniversary. And that
sounds
that day
amazing.
was so nice. It was like in a older hotel in the middle of Portland. And they had a sauna, they had a steam room, a hot tub. And so we got our massages and then we could go back to like the hot tub and steam room afterwards.
Wow.
Took showers. Like it was that day in particular was really, really nice. I walked out and I was like, I could go take a nap right now. I'm so relaxed.
That sounds so nice. I had multiple massages during my pregnancy, and every single
Everyone,
time,
including me, just kept gifting them to you. They're
which
like, you
I
need to
love
relax.
them. Every person that I had the massage with talked to me the whole time.
That's like masseuse 101.
I think it was like kind of hard because it was like, oh, when are you due? And then like I'd be like, oh, this time, and then they'd be like, is it a boy or girl? And then it would just kind of
Just really
start like
cascades.
going. And then like, I'm not going to be rude. So I'm like, what about you? Like, I don't know. But did they talk to you?
No,
That's
not
so
a peep.
nice.
I think when she asked me to flip over, she was like, pressure still feels good. I was like, yep, perfect. She was like, amazing.
Were you and Cole in the same room?
No, we had to go separately. I know.
Why?
I don't know.
During a couples massage?
I know. It was still nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good massage. She did a really good job. I'm really worked.
Good.
But yeah, we were gone Sunday to Thursday, and we woke up on Wednesday like for our massages and everything. And once that was over, we both were like, okay, we're ready to
good,
go.
yeah.
We're ready to go back home. And again, we don't travel. Like I think we literally said like the only trips that we've taken, the two of us, was our honeymoon and this. Like maybe we've gone to Florida, flew down to Florida, just the two of us, but we meet up with my parents and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we love each other so much, but I think we're both very social that like after 4 days of being with each other, we're like, all right, let's go see our friends.
Yeah. I totally get that.
But yeah, all right, on to you now. Oh wait,
You
did I
didn't
have
tell
something
about
else?
the HAZMAT.
Okay, yeah,
I've been
yeah.
waiting
This is
for
this
this.
is definitely the best. So we we're flying Frontier. Wait, no. So nope, we were flying Breeze. And it's a new airline, and it's very Spirit adjacent, and I just feel like people are like, oh no, like, but tickets were cheap. We don't really care. We're like, whatever. And we've also, knock on wood, never had an issue with like Spirit and delays and stuff like that. So we're getting ready that morning, and I get a notification like your flight's been delayed 30 minutes, and we haven't even left our Airbnb. And I'm like, whatever. Did I share this on the podcast about our flight taking off at the same time for Florida last time?
Yes.
Okay. So I was like, I've been down this road before. I will be leaving at the same time. We were staying on course. And again, if I get there early, I'm just sitting in an airport.
Yeah.
And so
With access to many foods.
yes, many Starbuckses. That's honestly when Starbucks feels the most right. I'm just,
Absolutely.
like, picking it up before a flight.
Yeah, I love just throwing everything out the window in the airport. I'm
Yes,
just like
like $10 on a coffee. Absolutely.
Tanner and I literally got these like They're like chocolate covered pretzels, but they were churro covered pretzels in like a little bag at like an airport thing. And it was like $12. And we're like, perfect.
Oh my gosh, delicious. Was that at Denver? I feel like Denver airport has so much.
No, it was at Pittsburgh actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Sorry, this is a tangent. I'm excited to see what Pittsburgh becomes with all this construction happening.
So much construction is happening.
I'm really hoping that we're
Why do I feel
expanding
like
for
it's
the
going to
better.
be like nothing though? We're going to be like, what did they do?
All of the designs look really pretty. I'm like, yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, well, I'm like, we're staying on course. We drop off the U-Haul, we get our Uber over to the airport, literally go through, like, we didn't even need our TSA pre-check for this. Like, the security line was non-existent. I was like, our flight's actually flying out. Also, it was very foggy, was like another thing too. So I was like, our flight's actually even flying out because nobody is in security right now.
And you're also like, I got a notification that my flight is delayed. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and granted, Portland, Maine airport is extremely small. Like, I don't know, it's a smaller airport, definitely smaller than Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, maybe we're the only flight for the day.
Yeah, or for the morning.
Yeah, and so we get through security in 2 seconds, walk down, like find our gate, and everything looks the same. And so I was like, okay. Long story short on that, the fog was so thick, like in Portland, that our plane that was like eventually going to be taking us to Pittsburgh they took off late from Virginia because not a lot of planes were landing in Portland. So they're like, can we even take off and land? And so they eventually take off like 30 minutes after when we were supposed to be boarding.
From Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's already, and I think it was like an hour and 45 flight. So we're like, whatever. And so we're just sitting there chilling. I think our flight was supposed to be at like 8:45 and we were supposed to be maybe 9:30 and we were supposed to be back in Pittsburgh by like 11 a.m. And so again, we're just chilling. And then the plane eventually gets in the Portland area and like circles the sky for like 30 minutes waiting for like approval to land.
That's like always the thing where I'm just like, I don't know. It just feels like we're like beyond that technology at this point.
Like we can fly at the
Like,
same time as thunderstorms. Like how
we
can you
have
not land and fly?
rockets. We have rocket ships going into outer space.
Yeah. How is this an issue right now?
Yeah.
So whatever. They eventually land and clear the plane. So I'm trying to remember time frame. I know we landed back in Pittsburgh at like 4. So maybe I'll just make up times. But we board probably at like noon, I think.
And you're supposed to already be back in Pittsburgh in an hour.
We're supposed to be back in Pittsburgh. And so we board at noon and we're sitting on the plane for a while. And it's also really nice. Like it was a smaller plane because it's a short flight. So there was only 2 and 2 on each side.
Oh, I love those.
So it was just Cole and I sitting next to each other. And we're sitting there for a while and no one's really saying anything, like, and time goes by and then they finally come over like the intercom and they're like, hey guys, I'm so sorry for the delay. There's something wrong with our bathroom. Or
was
like
there
our
only
lavatory.
one bathroom on since it was a small
that's a thing. Like I think there was one at the front anyways. And I was like, can we just say you can't use that one?
Yeah.
And then just
let's
get a move on. And I felt so bad. There were parents with kids and like who were babies and just like losing their minds. There was a girl across from us who was very unwell. She was maybe a little younger than me, but like looked like a college student. And when like they kept announcing every delay, this is not, I don't know what she was rushing back for, but she would lean into her boyfriend or like significant other sitting next to her and just go and sob her eyes out. Every single time they would announce a new delay, she'd be like, "Bro."
What was her boyfriend doing? Just comforting her?
Oh no, yeah, he did not. He did not look into it. He was just like, "It's okay."
I wonder if she had like claustrophobia or something.
I don't know. And she was typing the entire time, like
on
literally.
her phone?
No, on her laptop. She was like typing the entire time.
Maybe
so
she's like missing a test or something.
that's what Cole's like assumption was. It looked like she was finishing like an essay or something. So they're like, something's wrong with the lavatory, like, but we're getting maintenance on here as soon as possible. And everyone's like, oh, and Cole and I again, like, we're like, whatever, like,
Yeah.
Got nothing going on. So 30 more minutes go by, and then the girl next to us is like using her call button, calling like a flight attendant. And she was like, is there any update? Like, what's going on?
The one who's crying?
Yeah. And the flight attendant was like, no, like, I'm so sorry. Like, genuinely, I don't know anything. And so then, like, the head flight attendant comes over, like, and she's like, guys, we know as much as you do. Like, maintenance is here trying to fix the issue. And, like, you'll just have to, like, sit tight. We'll try to be out of here soon. And then the pilot comes over to the microphone, and he's like, hey, guys, all right, I'll just, like, shoot it straight with you. I need to gather my thoughts so I make sure I get it right. He was like, there was an issue with the lavatory. Again, maintenance is here trying to do this as best as they can. I mean, if you want the story, basically what happened is they were emptying the waste from the last flight, and like then when they went to like close it or like something like that, like the hatch like wouldn't reclose. So the guy that emptied it was like covered in poop and had to be sent home to shower. And everyone was like, what?
That is the most bizarre thing ever. Why can't someone else just close the hatch?
I don't like, again,
well, then
so many people have asked us about what hatch, and I'm like, I don't know. The pilot just said like what needed to be closed wasn't closed. So I don't know if it was like he went to just empty it and there was something that was supposed to be closed that was open. So then he just got covered in everything, but the man had to be sent home. And
I would be like, you're already covered in poop. Close the freaking hatch.
Just get in there. Like basically they needed some, okay. So then the guy's like, so we're waiting on a volunteer to go check and see if like maintenance has fixed the problem.
They wanted one off of your plane.
No, I think they wanted like a crew, like from like the mate or like from like the staff crew. But literally all he said was like, we're waiting on a volunteer. And I was like, is it me?
When you said it before, I thought that they were asking passengers on your flight, and I was like, I would have volunteered
100%, like
just for the story,
like one time. But yeah, so it was like very interesting that both sides of the plane got a different perspective, because the right side of the plane saw the poop and pee all over the runway, and they were like covering it with cat litter or something.
What?
To like try to soak it up.
Ew, how'd they get that there?
I have no idea. And then on our side of the plane, which I thought was the better view, we saw the volunteer getting suited up. He was literally, which also he was like, we're waiting for the volunteer to get in hazmat, and then like he's gonna test it, see if he like the mechanics fixed it, and then we'll be on our way. And I'll post a picture of, like, because I took a picture of him, of this man's getup, because it was not hazmat whatsoever. It was like a plastic trash bag. Literally like what you would wear like on a rainy day or something, like a rainy, like whatever.
Like a Walmart rain poncho.
Yes, 1,000%. That thing was $2. And I was like, oh my gosh. But Cole and I kept doing this bit because the girl kept crying. And he was like, lest us not forget, a man was shitted on.
I can't believe she was crying. I'm sure it was for a very valid reason, but also
just every single time. I don't want to scream again just in case it came across really bad in the microphone, but every time it was leaning into her boyfriend's chest and just like, and we were like, then Cole was like, once we were in the air, there was a baby crying, and he was like, I just want to tap her on the shoulder and be like, that's what you sound like.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny.
So you ended up like 6 hours behind.
Yeah, which sucked because then it took us an hour to get home. We were going through traffic. But you know, it was a funny story, and it was 100% worth it. Like every time we thought about the delay, Cole was like, I can't be upset. A man was shat on. Oh, Cole's going to bring us cookies.
Would you like to taste test?
Yes.
A live taste test. This is a cozy pod. Oh, they're so fluffy.
I will say, I feel like the almonds a little...
Wait, speak into the microphone.
I feel like the almonds a little intense.
Oh.
I love
it was literally
intense
half
almonds.
a teaspoon.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did I have almond here?
Yeah.
They're so fluffy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Leave it. Wait.
Oh, this
Will
smells
you bring me a
delicious.
glass of milk?
Chocolate milk or
Regular.
Our king.
Thank you so much, Cole.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That's really good.
He's really giving us the treatment today.
I know. He's taking care of his girlies today.
He really is.
All right, I'm ready to stop talking
Okay.
and have it be about you.
So, went to Colorado.
No rhyme or reason.
Well, we just wanted to go. And it was during the fall, obviously.
And the cheapest flights.
We wanted to see.
Thank you, Daddy.
So much, Cole. Did you know raw milk is the most hydrating thing on earth?
Outside of coconut water?
Better than water.
Outside of coconut water?
Yep.
Or like above?
Ashley, the most hydrating
What
thing on
don't you
earth. What
understand?
don't you get about that?
Well, give me a say it.
So we went to Colorado for fun. We didn't really have a lot of time that we could take off in the fall. So this worked out great. Cheap flight, direct. So
First family flight.
first family flight. Our flight leaving Pittsburgh to Denver was at 7:30. So we got to the airport at 6.
Which also, might I add for you, that you were at a wedding, you were a guest at a wedding the night before in Pittsburgh, where you had to turn around and go home to just turn around and come back at very early in the morning.
Well, yeah, we had to drive. So we tried to get there by 6. So we left here at 4:30.
Wild.
And Monty did not transfer from her crib to the car seat. I tried everything in my power. She was awake the whole time. She was happy, but she was awake.
Which did you feel in that moment it would set you up for the plane? Like she would be tired?
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is fine. So, okay, the way Southwest boarding happens is that, like, it's first come, first serve, and it's open seating. So, like, if you check in first and you're A1, you get your choice of seats. So whenever we got there and I like checked my stroller into the thing, she's like, by the way, it's not a full flight. So definitely like make sure you guys get a full row to yourselves.
You're like, yes, I will.
I'm like, of course. So
this story is so annoying.
we like go and we sit Monty in the middle seat. Like she's technically just a lap child, but like obviously like if you have kids with you, it pretty much takes priority that you would get like a full middle seat. So I put her in the middle seat.
Which was a really nice perk of Southwest. And you like do run the risk, but it's like, yeah, if it's not going to be full, my child gets to sit.
You also get priority family boarding with Southwest, so you board after A group.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where you essentially land.
Yeah. So, sorry if we're chewing, everyone. I think they get the cozy vibes.
Yeah. Would you like a crackling fire in the background?
I would, but they told me it would be $4,000 to make my fireplace into a wood-burning fireplace.
That one, really?
Yep. We got 2 quotes. It used to be wood-burning.
That is
They made it into gas.
so annoying.
And now they're like, oh, no, it's $4,000 to change it back.
Why? Like,
I have no idea, and I'm so mad because this room being heated by a fire would help the entire home's heating dynamics.
that's so frustrating. I'm
It's
so
so
sorry.
annoying. It's fine. So anyways, we have the whole row. We take off. Everything's going great. Monty falls asleep. I'm holding her. Tanner's dozing off. Everything's good.
happy. How long is the flight?
3 hours.
Okay.
I don't know
Not
what
bad.
happened. About 30 or 40 minutes into the flight, a random foreign woman comes to our row. It seems as if she has just gotten on the plane. She's giving the vibe. She has her bag towed behind her. We're literally been in the air for 40 minutes. She's like, is the seat open? In the
would
middle seat.
riot.
And I'm like,
I've been like, no, they're in the
I
bathroom.
mean, it's open, but... And
You're
it
going to
was-
come between me and my husband right now?
And my baby was sleeping and she was asleep and I did not want to wake her up. And so I was just like, I didn't want to like talk. And so I was just like, and then Tanner had to end up scooting over next to me. And she sat with us. She sat in the end row. And I was just like so annoyed because
Was it like a few spots were open, or was it like, this is a very empty flight?
No, there was like probably just a few, but like she definitely could have looked for somewhere else. And I don't know where the heck she was coming from, why she was coming at 40
She
minutes
was picked
in.
up in the air.
I felt like it was like the Polar Express or something. Like, where the heck are you coming from? And why are
Got
you
her just a little over Ohio.
sabotaging my family's perfect flight? Like, seriously, I was like, wow. Anyways, it ended up being fine. I was just annoyed because like
Rightfully so.
Monty's just so active and she wanted to move around.
And it would have been nice to have the extra seat to have her bounce on.
Yes. So it was fine. We landed. We too go and get groceries, get some stuff. And then we went to Boulder. We had lunch. We thrifted a little bit at that place we went to.
What is it called
Apocalypse.
again? Yeah, that's a good place.
I got a great trad dress.
And your vest?
No, that was
That
not
was a
there.
different place?
That was in Frisco.
Oh, sorry to
You're
out
jumping
you.
ahead. You're jumping ahead.
stay on course.
So then we drive out to the mountains. We have like a 2-hour drive to Leadville. And we drove out. We were staying in like a super cute little cabin. And we like got everything set up. We went out to Turquoise Lake for sunset. And
the
we were just,
memories of Turquoise Lake.
I know.
If it sounds familiar, if you listen to our travel episode, that's where we all got.
Yeah, so we went there for sunset. It was great. Literally, like Monty was in a better mood than we were. Like she was such a trooper.
Angel.
She was doing so well, and we were just like so pleasantly surprised by everything. Speaking of, you know what? I'm not even going to go into it, but I feel like I learned a lot about like packing baby stuff for the trip. For traveling in general. We definitely like brought too much stuff. A big thing that I would change is that I would have rented a car seat at the rental car place. There's just so much stuff
Is
that
it
you
that much
have.
of like an add-on?
I don't know. There's so much stuff that you have between getting your bags at the airport, taking the shuttle to the rental
Not the
car
shuttle,
place,
yeah.
that it would be worth it.
Like when we went to Florida in May with Joe and Shayla, like we stayed at the airport with Farah while them and Ellie went to go get the rental car, and it took forever. Not if anyone has ever rented a car, you know that it takes forever. So it took like over an hour. And I felt so bad for them. And like, luckily Farrah's just like doing laps in the airport. We're just chasing her down like the thing. But we had to stay with all the stuff because it was going to be impossible for all of us to caravan over there. It was just easier for them to come back and pick us all up. And like when Cole and I when they finally got there with the rental car, it was like impossible. It felt like to drag all of the stuff to the door. I was
Literally,
like,
that was us.
And I was like, if we were the parents here, this is impossible.
And you have to carry the baby too. Like Monty can't walk.
Yeah.
And then like you push your stroller through the airport, which is so convenient. And you can check it at the gate. But then whenever you're out of the airport, you're getting on these rental car shuttles. You're folding up the stroller, putting it in things. You have the car seat. You have your checked bags. You have the actual baby. Like it was just
Don't forget
so much. And then I also like had a separate bag that I had to pack the pack and play in so she could sleep. So I would have only stayed at places that provided a pack and play.
Yeah, that is a lot to take every place. Because I mean, especially you guys didn't stay at one place the entire time.
Yeah.
Did you take the slumber pod too?
I did. That was not that much room. That is really small.
Okay.
But the pack and play, there was a few places that I could have chosen that could provide a pack and play, but I didn't choose them, which that would be something I would do in the future. Anyways, so we get to our first place, get set up, go to Turquoise Lake. It's great. Whatever. The next morning, it's snowing.
Magical.
We are in the little town. I don't know if you remember when we were in the RV. We went to Leadville. We stopped at a coffee shop. It was like a Christian coffee shop.
Yes, that does
It's called
sound
City
familiar.
on a Hill. So we went there.
I remember walking across the street with my mask on.
Yeah. We went there and we got coffee and burritos in the morning. We met like this group of Christian guys who was doing like a 14er that day. And it was just like so cute and wholesome. What else did we do that day? I literally can't remember. Oh, we drove and like saw a bunch of like really great mountain like pull-offs where we didn't have to like walk super far to see a good view. We would walk like a half mile and then come back, and then like go to another one, walk like a half mile, come back. You could like see it from the side of the road. That it was like amazing. So that was fun. We drove to Frisco, which we loved in our trip to Colorado.
No, yeah, you saying this, like talking about the RV and then like our like winter trip, I'm like, I gotta go back. We need to do another group trip. It's just, why is it the best group trip?
I would love to do another winter trip too at the cozy cabin. I would say at the exact same cabin.
Oh, I would do the exact same vibes. It was perfect. The only thing I would change is that I would want to snowboard this time.
The only thing that I would change is that Tanner wouldn't drive the truck into the snowbank.
Yeah.
I actually was going to say on our solo episode, someone asked like what our biggest fight was. That was not, we never talked about it because we were with you guys, but I think that was the most mad I've ever been.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
He drove our rental car into a snowbank to be funny.
Well, he went to make the turn like tight, like he wanted to drift it in the snow, and then we hit a snowbank.
And he drove in like over a hump of tall snow into this like ditch basically, and then kept going.
The only reason we ended up turning around was because like we were like, oh, we'll just cut across this field, but then we like came across like a part at one point that was like a big hole, and we were like, no, we have to turn around now. I really thought we were going to get stuck, and we had no service. We were genuinely in the middle of nowhere, like this giant field. And that's the vibe that we wanted, was this secluded cabin.
It was like negative degrees too.
Yeah,
like
the wind
that
chill was
just
intense.
like, usually I love his like funny, just like, haha, whatever spirit. But for some reason that I was like, why would you do that?
I think there was a collective like, I don't even know what the right word is. I was going to say aggression, but it's not aggression, but and just everyone was like, what the heck, man?
Yeah. If we wouldn't have gotten out, like I would have been so mad. But anyways, we go to Frisco. We shopped. We got the cinnamon roll. We got coffee. I thrifted a great vest.
Do you see the dogs?
We saw the dogs. We saw multiple golden retrievers again.
Oh, I love them.
Also, let me just say in this moment, I've been super into workwear. Mixing it with like...
With your dresses?
Dressy wear. I don't know. I think it's a cool vibe. Like, I got this Woolrich vest, which is the one I'm obsessed with. It's like kind of like tan, but it's like Carhartt vibes. Wearing it with like a beanie and a dress, I think is so cool.
Yeah, that's cute.
Anyways, then went to Breck and, you know, same thing. Shop, got some food.
Or were people skiing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Not enough snow.
No snow at all.
Okay.
We went on this like mountain pass that we should have gone on, but I think it would have been not like plowed. It was so beautiful. There were so many just like good like drives that we did. Which also just attests to Monty being amazing, because we did so much driving even once we got there, and she was such a trooper. Like,
she was like, all right, where to next?
Yep, she was just vibing. So she was amazing. I can't even remember. I don't know. We ended up going to Crested Butte eventually. And in Crested Butte, we went to this place called Gothic. It's like this, again, like it's this mountain pass. And it was our favorite place we've ever been. Besides Montana.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And we just stumbled upon it. We were just driving through the town, and Monty just fell asleep in the back. And I was like, oh, she's asleep. Like, she wasn't supposed to be asleep yet. And I was like, I guess just drive around for a little bit and we'll wake her up in a little. And so Tanner just started driving straight. Then there was like this like kind of like dirt road, and we ended up following it. And it was just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was like in this valley with all these mountains surrounding us. And there was all of these cows everywhere. Cows everywhere. And then there was cowboys wrangling them on horses.
Oh, that's so fun.
It was so cool. And there was also like a ghost town. Gothic was a ghost town, and it was like, that means basically it was abandoned. But Then they turned it into like a biological research facility.
Oh.
And it was just in the middle of these mountains, like seriously around nothing. But I found out that you can stay in a cabin there.
Oh.
And I'm like, we're going. Like, it was so cool. So anyways, we kept getting out, taking pictures, flying the drone, and Monty just slept the whole time.
Aww.
And then we got back to our place in Crested Butte. We ordered a pizza, went to sleep. It was great. Okay, so then I didn't tell you this story.
Okay, I'm ready.
So the last day, our flight was at 5 a.m. So that meant we needed to get to the airport at 3.
Crazy.
So I really wanted to stay at the airport hotel. Not like an airport hotel, but the hotel in the airport. Like you walk out.
Not close, as
You're
in attached.
Yes, you're at security. So my friend used to work at the hotel, and I didn't like expect anything from her. I was just like, what's the vibe? And like,
Is it attached?
yes. Are there any others that are attached? Like, whatever. And she was like, oh, like I can get you a discount, but like this is the only one that's attached. None of the others are. And they're like a 15-minute drive away. So I was like, okay. And it was like 500 some a night.
Yeesh.
But she got us a pretty good discount. So I was like, okay, it's worth it. So
Especially with a baby. Like, that's what I feel like literally all of my friends have kids. And I'm just like, I feel like you're always willing to pay more for the convenience once you have a kid. You're like, whatever.
And that was what I was thinking. I was just like, you know what? Maybe in the future, like I'll see how this goes. But since it's our first time, like really going on a trip with her, and since it's so early, I was like, I would just like to like be close. So she sends us the confirmation number. She's like, everything's good for this day. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, I'm so scared.
So we go there, and because of that, we were able to drop off our rental car early as well. So drop off our rental car, and we go to the airport. Like we're like gonna go on a flight, but we go into the hotel, and I'm like, hey, I'm here. I give him the confirmation number, everything. He's like, no. The guy's like, there's no reservation for you. And I'm like, okay. I like show him the text, show him the confirmation number. He's like, no, we don't have this.
Did you call your friend? What was your first instinct? Like, I have a clue of what you did, but
I was basically just like, okay, like what's the other option? And so he was like, he called someone else, and he's like, I saw the message. Like her friend like said that she did book it for her, but like, what should we do?
Here.
Yeah. And so he gets off the phone. He's like, so the only other option is the walk-in rate. It's $7.49. And I was like, I can't do that. So what's the other option? And he's like, okay, all the other airport hotels are 15 minutes away. Like you can get an Uber there. And like, here's like basically the ones that are most affordable. And I'm like, okay. So I call the one, and I'm like, hey, we're coming. They're like, okay, we can give you a king suite for $200. I'm like, okay.
that's much more my speed.
That's fine. So we Uber there, we get there, we set everything up. And I don't know what it is about being a mom has made me so much more resilient to stuff like that. I feel like before I was a mom, I would have been sobbing.
Oh, yeah.
And just been like,
I'm like,
what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? But you're just like, well, we just have to do it.
We just press on.
We
I feel
just
like,
have to do
I mean,
it.
on a much more dramatic scale, I feel like that was your guys' like baby moon. Like in Europe last year, like flights
Yes.
canceled and like
Yes.
all the cascade of things. But in this situation, you're like, all right, on to the next.
I'm like, whatever. So we go to this airport hotel. It's actually so nice. And our room was like a suite. So it was really nice. And we ended up just having the best night.
Could they shuttle it? Sorry.
They could
you?
shuttle us, but we got an Uber because we had to be there at 3. And I was like,
Who was
I'm not.
Ubering that early?
It was surging at that time.
Oh my gosh. That is
I guess
so incredibly early.
I'll tell you why I was surging.
Okay.
So, but anyways, we ended up having literally the best night ever. Like the hotel was like so fancy and so nice. Like the one we were gonna stay in. This one was like not crappy, but just like whatever hotel. There was like a strip of a bunch of fast food nearby.
You're like, exactly
we
what
like
I need.
put Monty in the stroller and went and got Taco Bell, and it was just like so purely fun. And me and Tanner just kept saying like, it just feels like us. Like it just felt more us that this happened. And so we ended up having a really good night. And then the morning comes and we woke up at 2:45, which again,
do you even sleep like before an early flight like that? I would be terrified of like missing my flight.
So I was like, I'm going to be asleep by 8 p.m.
Okay.
And I was. So I slept 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, like 7 hours almost.
That's not bad.
Yeah. And Monty, we put her down at 6:45. So she like also had like a full like at least 8 hours.
Yeah.
So we get up at 2:45, we get our Uber, we get to the airport, and immediately security is completely not open. And there's
What time did you arrive?
3
Okay.
hundreds of people standing outside security line. The line is weaving back and forth hundreds of times and going the whole way out the back door. You can't even see the end of the line. And we're like, why is it closed? Like,
what's
going on here? And I never figured out what was wrong, but we were like, we're going to miss this flight. Immediately, I'm like, I don't have enough formula for Monty. Like, I don't have enough food for her. Like, we're going to have to opt to miss the flight so we can go and buy formula because I checked it. And I had like enough of 2 bottles, but I didn't have any more. I was like, the next direct flight is at noon. It's $600 a person. We're going to have to do it. Like, we're not going to make it. We were boarding in like 50 minutes and like hundreds, if not 1,000 people were in front of us in security.
I have like been in one of those, like, I think in some places, I don't know if Denver is like this, but like legitimately security doesn't open until like 3:30 or 4 a.m.
That must have been what it was.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, then why schedule flights so early?
And I'm also like, we were here.
Yeah,
So
I was here.
So anyways, eventually randomly, they were just like, okay, we have another security checkpoint open. They took like half the people away to that. And then I truly don't know how we made it through, but we literally walked onto our flight and it took off. Like, it was right away.
I would have been like, to all the other people on the plane, I'm like, how'd you get here?
Literally, how'd you get it? Well, I saw a guy in the line that was wearing a Pitt shirt.
You're like,
I
you're
was
going
like,
where I'm
I was
going.
like, you going to Pittsburgh? He's like, yeah. And I was like, I hope we make it. And he's like, I know. Like, I don't know. It's so
weird.
stressful. But this flight had like actually no one on it. So we got our full row.
Nice.
And Monty loved sitting in her own seat. Like, she was just
She's like,
had the
big
tray
kid.
table down playing the whole time. It was so smooth. And it was just like such a good experience. And literally overall, Tanner and I were just like, we both were just so encouraged and like refreshed by how well she traveled with us. It obviously was hard at times. Like, there was hard moments. The hardest moment actually was the rental car shuttle. We both agreed. Getting all the stuff on the rental car shuttle.
And just like, was it, or a lot of people getting on with you where like you feel the pressure of
It
like,
was
I gotta go.
packed. People were standing.
That's the worst.
But the trip went so smoothly, and like, I just feel like we had such a good time together. I feel like we all reconnected so much. It was like it was just the thing that we love and always just resets us is going out west.
Yeah.
And it was so good for us. And when we got home, we were like, that was not hard. Like,
Yeah.
it was, but it
It's
wasn't.
challenging moments. Yeah.
Yes. And we were just like, wow, we did that. Like, we went there with a baby and it was good.
Yeah.
And I also will say, I feel like she is at a harder age than a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Because
now
she
she's
like
moving.
wants to go do stuff.
Yeah.
So I was also like, wow, I'm really proud that we like did this.
Yeah.
And it went so well. And we had a great time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like in maybe going into it, you could have seen it going like either way. Like, either this is going to be extremely challenging and we're going to learn from it, or it could be the best trip that we've ever had. And so I'm glad it leaned that way.
We were both like waiting for something to happen the whole time.
Literally. I can imagine.
There's going to be a moment that happens that's bad.
What was your first thought of over the hotel thing where you like literally just moved on? You're like, all right, well, I'm not paying that. So
Yeah, I was like, we just have to figure it out. The man at the front desk, like, he had a piece of paper that had all the other hotels, their rates, and their phone numbers. And he printed it out for me. He's like,
so
just call them.
sweet.
He was really nice. But, and then I felt bad for my friend because I was like, I don't want to make her feel bad. I don't think it's
she
her
was doing
fault.
this one, but at the same time, it's like, did you Venmo her?
No, she was like, it's just booked and you just give your card when you get there.
Oh, okay. So she never paid anything either.
No, but I didn't want her to think that I didn't say thank you. So I was like, I have to tell her what happened. So I
Yeah.
sent her a voicemail. I was like, please don't feel bad. Everything was fine.
Because it turned out to be much better than we anticipated.
Yes, but I was just like, I just want to let you know it wasn't.
Just in case you try to do this with anybody else.
In case you turn a more higher stakes scenario.
Yeah. Was she
So-
like, oh my God?
Yeah, she was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, seriously,
It's
don't
all
worry.
good.
It's fine. But yeah, I'm trying to see. Oh, my only other update is that we got new carpets upstairs and I'm so happy.
Yay. Plush all around.
The people said when they were taking them out, I was like, how old do you think they were? And they're like, oh, well, they stopped making this carpet in the 70s.
Disgusting.
So
it's literally
over
been
50 years.
trekked on for 50 years. Do you already feel an improvement upstairs? Because it was everywhere, right? Like in your room, the landing, and then Monty's room? Okay.
Yep, they replaced all of it. Same carpet as downstairs, so now it flows continuously. And it feels like you can breathe again.
Oh, that's so nice. Speaking of breathing, Cole and I got air purifiers tonight.
Yes, you did.
And I'm so excited because our dogs make our room disgusting.
Oh, do they sleep in there?
Dylan does occasionally, and it's so sweet.
And he wakes you up.
Yes, he his infamous thing is falling asleep in my sister's room, and then I'll leave our door cracked, and he'll come in at like 1 a.m. and lay down.
He's like a kid.
But every single day we like clockwork at like 10 a.m. Cole's like, why does it smell so bad in here? I'm like, because dogs smell. Like, so we have to open the windows all day. That was just talking about pure air. I'm very excited about it.
I hope it helps.
I hope so too.
I'm
We're gonna put it in
interested
our living
to
room
know.
too, I think.
If you like it, then maybe I'll buy one.
Yeah, I
Tanner?
feel like that was like the next step in our crunchy like health journey, as I feel like a lot of people have air purifiers.
Well, Tanner always wanted one for upstairs because he's always like, it's just like I feel like
Musty.
my nose, and he gets really allergic to dust. But I really think it was the carpets because he had to take them to the trash dropper.
Of course he
offer.
did.
And he said when he put them in the truck that like a cloud like of dust like evaporated from them.
Yeah,
So-
no amount of vacuuming was saving whatever was in there.
No.
Terrifying. I'm so
So, yeah.
happy for you. What's the next step of home reno?
The upstairs bathroom. Did I tell you we got our tiles?
Oh no, I want to see them.
I don't have them here. They're ordered.
Oh, okay.
But it's terracotta floor, white shower, white walls.
Are you tiling? You're tiling the shower.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a dark brown shower right now. That'll be ripped out. And then the door, this is all on my home reno highlight on Solich Photo and Film if you want a visual. The door is a mirror. This like whole house is very 70s. The shower door is a mirror. Like looking back at you.
I'm like, I've been up there before.
Yeah.
But now that I think about it, yeah, I can envision it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So-
Wait, so are you making it into a tub?
No.
Oh, okay.
It'll stay a shower, white, and then just glass
Okay.
instead of the mirror.
Oh, okay. The toilet's staying in the same spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to change any like plumbing layout. That's
So
beyond.
intense. That's beyond Tanner's knowledge.
And since this is not our forever home, I'm like, we're
Do not
just doing
care.
what we can here.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
No drywall.
Unfortunately, no. The drywall quote is too high for me.
For my liking. What's Tanner's vibe on the room?
He likes the wood.
I know you're not going to like this. I definitely, I understand where you're coming from, but I say keep it.
I think we're going to end up keeping it.
Yeah. I think the white did good down here. I just don't, the wood upstairs just looks nicer.
I think it does look nice too. I just think it's a lot. Like it's
Yeah.
just too much. It's walls and ceiling in every room. And I'm just like, I love wood ceilings with the white drywall walls, like in here.
Yeah. No, that's really fair.
I just think it looks pretty, but whatever.
$4,000.
Nope.
All right.
No, sir.
I think we've been yapping.
116. I thought it said
Every single time, Jenna.
I thought it said 136, and I was like, please, God, no.
Every single time I think that I'm like, it has to have been 2 hours. It's
I
like,
know.
oh, 105. I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't that long.
You want to know? Sorry, I'm going off on the whole
Okay.
thing now. Have you ever heard of those things where like they'll put you in a room and they're like come out when an hour's passed and you have no like gauge of time?
No.
I feel like that's us because we don't look at stuff. We just talk.
Yeah, even like I've checked my phone a few times, and I've seen the time, and I'm like, I don't know when we started.
No,
so I
me
can't
either.
do the math.
I know, but it's like one of those things where it's like because we're always like plugged into something, looking at something, like always have access to the time that whenever we're not, we're like, I don't know how much time has passed.
Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves maybe isn't the right word for it, but like if my phone is dead, like there have been times like I've woken up in the middle of the night, like whether at my friend's house or like whatever, and I can't find my phone. Not knowing what time it is in the middle of the night really irks me. I'm like,
Ashley,
how much do I got left?
Same.
Really?
Now that I have a child that wakes up in the night, if I cannot find my phone to see what time it is, I'm like, how am I supposed to know if she needs fed or if it's morning?
Yeah. Which also today,
Why
Dylan,
is it dark at 7 a.m.?
Thank you. I went to a workout class the other day that was at 6 a.m. And when I used to get out of said workout class, it would be birds are chirping, sun is out. And when I got out yesterday, I was like, was that 10 minutes? Because
dark.
it is pitch black outside and it is 7 a.m.
Yes, Ashley. When Monty woke up this morning, it was 6:45 and it was dark. So I went into her room and fed her because I was like, it's still the
3 a.m.
night. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Nope. She was up for the day. It was morning time.
Why does it feel darker like than it usually is?
I
know
never
we're-
remembered it being dark this late into the morning.
I never remember like what like the with daylight savings like what the adjustment is. Like I know you
It
lose an
hasn't
hour,
even
gain an
happened
hour.
yet.
I know.
Hey, let's find out when it happens. It's probably soon.
We gain an hour this time too.
You know what we should do? Something fun, like a fun episode for our birthdays.
I was
they're
thinking the
close.
same thing. They're coming up. Yeah, because podcast wise only be a week apart.
Well, I was going to say this total joke. I was like, we should do a GoFundMe for people to let us do fun stuff.
Okay, if you really want to support us, we're going to start a GoFundMe.
For our
Don't Venmo
birthday.
us. We want it to be on GoFundMe.
Oh, it's November 5th. So it's in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Okay. Oh, this is so random. We're watching Farrah that weekend. Joe and Shayla are going on a little trip.
Oh, where are they going?
Oh, they're going to San Diego. Just
really?
airing out their laundry.
How fun.
They're going on a little trip. But yeah, Farrah's staying with us. And I was just like, oh, that extra hour won't matter at all for us because Farrah's staying with us.
You'll have a beep.
I'll have a little baby.
We can text each other in the night wake up.
And just be like, oh my gosh, she's up again.
She's up. I know I say this every single time. Like there's always something with a baby. Like that is why they're not sleeping. Just for any other moms who feel like everyone is constantly being like, my baby sleeps through the night. My baby sleeps through the night. Monty was sick for like 3 weeks on and off. And then we traveled to Colorado. Then we got back. And now she literally has like 4 teeth coming through. And she has been up so much. I swear I have not slept in the past month more than like a 2-hour stretch.
She's making it
So-
everybody's problem.
So
She's like, if I grow teeth, you don't sleep.
yes. And obviously
Which is
it's
so
so sad. You
sad.
just want to comfort them. But she's getting her top teeth. She's going to look so different.
We are approaching, which maybe we'll both cry over a Monty birthday episode.
Oh,
we'll do a
God.
combined birthday episode with all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Because
and
we're
she
all
can
really
be a
close.
guest for like 5 minutes. She can come sit with us.
But I am just so unwell thinking about her turning 1. Like I was saying to Jenna, like obviously Cole and I's anniversary just passed, and at our wedding, Jenna was 8 months pregnant. And just seeing photos, I'm like, that was Monty in her belly. And then I'll never forget, like when you called me when you're in labor and like all of like those memories. And I'm like, how
was
is that
that a
little
year
baby
ago?
a year old? She
I
won't be a year
know.
for another month, but still.
It's so crazy.
Do you eat like you? I think you've said this in past episodes, but this has been like the quickest year of your life.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So sad.
By so much. It's crazy.
Oh, I feel like it's been so fast just watching. Like just watching like my friends' kids grow up. Like Cole and I will see photos of Farrah, and I'm just like, that's not the same baby. Like,
No, I know.
because she is a ginormous baby now.
I know. Even like I think about like Peter doesn't get to see Monty that much. And I feel like every time he sees her, I'm like, oh yeah, she can do this and this and this and this now.
She's growing.
Yeah.
I know, just even
crazy.
like her standing and everything. Like, oh, the idea of her walking soon. I just will not, like, I don't know, but seeing
She's
like
not big enough to walk. She's not.
Seeing like your friends' kids grow up, like, and I mean, if you choose to be involved, like, I literally, like, obviously I don't feel the emotions that Jenna does, but I'm still so emotional. Like, I'm getting teary eyed just thinking about
and
it.
bad at the same time too, because you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Like, you're amazing. I can't believe you're learning how to do this. Then at the same time, you're like, stop right now. I look at the pictures of her from when she was born, literally every day. When I lay in bed, I look at the day she was born.
You're like, you were so tiny. Do you feel, sorry, this is getting like emotional and we're like definitely over on time, but do you feel like you did a good job soaking up those like early months and days, or is there anything that you would change?
No, because I did not understand. Yes and no, because I didn't understand how fast they change and how much like they won't be like that anymore. Like Tanner and I have said for like our second baby, we're just going to hold them and have them sleep on us constantly. Like the fact that they just fall asleep, just laying on you, just
There's
in
no routine.
public
Yeah.
or like whatever, like is just the sweetest, best thing ever. And you just don't, you're like, oh, this is what babies do. But then 2 months go by and they're up and they have to get on the schedule and they have to do these things. And it's like, wait, why
just laying
can't
on
they
my
just
chest.
do what they were doing before? But they can't because they change. And then now it's like she hasn't slept on me. I mean, she slept on me that one time when she was sick, but it's like she doesn't sleep on me ever.
Yeah.
And it's just like you don't know how long they'll be like that until you see how actually short it is.
Yeah. That I think has to be the hardest part. I see people post like, you never know the last time
No.
like, of 1,000 different things. And it's just like, good freaking bye. That's like having a child has to be the best thing and the most cruel pain at the same time.
I will never forget whenever I was like a tween, maybe I was like 10. My dad just like randomly said to me, like, I wish I knew the last time that I read you a story in your rocking chair was going to be the last time.
I'm gonna cry my
And I was
eyes
just
out.
like, Dad, you can still read me the story.
I'll sit in your lap.
Truly, but it's like even just so many little things that she did that she will never do again. Like she used to do this little sound where she'd go, like when she was like 2 months old. And me and Tina are like, she'll never do that again.
Yeah.
She'll never not have teeth again.
Mm-hmm.
She'll never
have this little gummy, like, gummy smile.
Any of it. Like she just won't. It's so sad.
And it's the best thing and the worst thing at the same time.
Yes.
What
crazy.
are you most looking forward to in her next stage?
I'm like, this is not going to be for like a while, but like her being able to communicate with me more. And like, I would love to have a conversation with her, but like, even just if she can start saying like, telling me when she's hungry or like whatever, like, I think that would just really help because there's so much guessing. I wish that like the first night that her teeth started coming, I didn't know that they were coming.
She's like, Mama, I hurt.
I wish that she could just say like hurt so that I could understand like, okay, something's happening. It's not just that you're just like randomly for some reason. Like I thought she was like jet lagged or something like that.
Yeah.
But she was just like hurting and I just want to know.
Yeah, that's fair. It is the best. Farah, I think, is like 18 months. She's like a year and a half or something. And we were hanging out with her today and she just looked at Joe and said, Dada, I'm hungry. And it's like, thank you.
Yes,
like,
I would love
will give you
to
food.
know that. Yes. Yeah. Monty has started going. And I'm like, is that food?
What are we talking about here?
I need
You're
to know.
literally mom's job, and I mean, I feel like all of life, but especially in the early stages, just decoding.
Yes, I
It's
know.
like, all right, I have to learn Monty speak.
Yes.
The best. That was a little Monty corner for you.
Oh, she's the best.
She is the best. She's such a sweet girl.
Okay.
All right, wrap this up. We love you guys. Like we said, next week is spooky.
Ooh.
So
don't listen
wait.
next week if you're scared. Or
Have you, sorry, this is a real pivot, but people like to talk about it in your solo episode with Tanner. Have you thought about what you're going to be for Halloween? Sexy edition?
Oh, yeah, I have, but I can't remember what I thought of. And also, thank you for reminding me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Go on
'Cause
Amazon
I
tonight.
need to get something. I was thinking that I'm going to maybe do something simple and like something where I can wear something maybe I already have and then maybe order like a small other accessory. A soccer ball? No. I want to wear something I already have and maybe order a small accessory.
Okay.
So,
Mentos gum. I'm just giving you ideas here.
Mentos gum, soccer ball.
Soccer ball. None of these sticking? Okay.
Okay.
We have fun.
Where's the funny?
All right. We love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us every week. We are coming up on a year of recording episodes, not quite releasing them. It'll be our year anniversary in January. But Jenna was like, it was probably around this time.
Yeah.
Because you gave me the microphone for our wedding.
Yeah.
So we really are getting close.
Got back from your honeymoon.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so proud of us.
I honestly so am. I cannot believe we've never missed a week.
I know. Literally through so many different technical issues and everything, the pod has always made it up.
It really has.
Like Jenna and Tanner uploaded their episode in crappy Colorado Wi-Fi last week last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. And it was like, that was a miracle but the pod lives on. So anyways, we'll have to do something special for our 1 year.
We're doing a bunch of special stuff.
There's a lot of special coming up. We were also talking about our Christmas party.
Should we record an episode at the Christmas party?
Absolutely.
Or maybe we should do it the
Live
next
gift exchange.
morning.
Oh yeah, with cinnamon rolls.
So we can fully enjoy. Because sometimes I feel like we get too much into podcast mode.
Yeah, you gotta leave work behind. Gotta leave work at the office.
And we are.
And this is my full-time job.
I was gonna say. This is providing.
Yes, this is putting food in Monty's mouth. All right, we love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.